Did you know there's a simple way to move faster and more efficiently in doubles without actually getting fitter? A lot of players know the basic footwork movements, but the problem is, in an actual doubles rally, you rarely move from the perfect starting position.
Yeah, you might play a shot in the mid-court and immediately have to move backwards, or cover one side of the net before suddenly having to move all the way across to the other side.
A lot of players lose speed here because they don't know how to move between certain shots. It can really trip some people up. So in this video, we're going to show you 4 of the most important footwork combinations you need for doubles. And these are going to help improve your speed and efficiency. Let's get into it.
The first combination happens when you've played a soft mid-court shot. Your opponent plays a lift and you need to move back to the rear court. We've specified a soft mid-court shot here because from this, your opponent is more likely to play a lift. Whereas if you play a hard mid-court drive, a reactive hard shot is more likely from your opponents.
So for this common combination, there are 2 different footwork situations. First is if you're in a front and back formation, you play a mid-court shot from either side and your opponent lifts straight. From either the forehand or backhand side, you would push off your racket leg to do a directional split step. This prepares your body to move directly either into your forehand or backhand rear court corner. From here, exactly which footwork you choose will depend on the height of your opponent's lift and then exactly how far away you are from the shuttle. For example, on your forehand side, if the lift is high, you might do a 2-footed jump. Or if they lift a bit flatter and you need to move further, you might do a jump back.
The second situation where this combination might occur is if you're in a side-by-side formation. You play a mid-court shot like this and your opponent lifts directly over your head. The big mistake is recovering sidewards before moving backwards, and doing this creates an extra step and makes the lift feel much harder to reach than it actually is. Instead, whichever side you're on, you would push off your racket leg and pivot on your non-racket leg so that your racket leg is now behind you. You then do a chassé step into either a jump back, scissor kick, or 2-footed jump on your forehand side, or a scissor kick or 2-footed jump on your backhand side. Just no backhands.
That was the combination of a mid-court shot then moving backwards into the rear court. Let's keep the common combos coming with our next common combination.
This is where you've played a straight attacking rear court shot. Your opponent pushes it straight into the mid-court and you have to move forwards to get this. Here, you don't have time to move back to the middle, and you don't want to because it's unnecessary. So what changes in your footwork?
Well, you'd hit your rear court shot as normal. If you've used a jump back on the forehand side, you'd land with your racket leg just before your non-racket leg. So you then push off your racket leg, bringing it forwards in front of your non-racket leg. You'd then do a strong push off with your non-racket leg to either chassé then step into the shot, or jump or step straight away. And of course, the earlier you can take these shots, the better. Altogether, it looks like this. Now, if you've done a scissor kick or 2-footed jump, you push off your non-racket leg first, quickly followed by your racket leg to either do a running step like this or a chassé.
Then, if you're on the backhand side and you've done a scissor kick or a 2-footed jump, you've got 2 options. You either push off your non-racket leg first, quickly followed by your racket leg to do a running step directly forwards. Or you again push off your non-racket leg first and do a chassé step recovery. From here, you then push off your racket leg, pivot on your non-racket leg and step or jump forwards into the shot. Altogether, option 1 looks like this and option 2 looks like this.
And in case you're wondering, if you've done a jump out on either your forehand or backhand side, you won't be right at the back of the court. So here you can instantly readjust to push off your non-racket leg and step forwards with your racket leg into the mid-court.
Alright, let's keep the common combos rolling with combination number 3. So, in a doubles rally, if you play a net shot, you should be covering the net area afterwards. And if your opponent plays a cross-court shot, you don't want to move all the way back here because that's wasting time. It's like you moving along two sides of a triangle when you could just move across one. Or imagine how much faster your journey to the badminton hall would be if you had a straight road there. So what changes in the footwork for this common combination?
Well, let's start with moving from the forehand to the backhand side. Here you would move to the first shot as normal by doing a split step, chassé and lunge. After you've played your shot and can see your opponents are playing it to the other side, you push off your racket leg, bring it to your non-racket leg, and then your non-racket leg steps across like this. You then pivot on your non-racket leg, your racket leg comes across your body and you lunge into the corner. So altogether, it looks like this. But what about if you're moving from the backhand to the forehand side?
Well, like we just said, you move to the first shot as normal. So you split, pivot and lunge. After you've played your backhand shot and you can see your opponents are playing it to the other side, you push off your racket leg and bring it back across your body so your feet are parallel like this. You then bring your non-racket leg to your racket leg and lunge into the forehand corner. Altogether, it looks like this.
What's really important in this movement is that you keep a low centre of gravity, as this helps you have control in your shot. This is why you should do a lunge rather than a jump. The only time you would jump is if you see the shuttle coming high over the net and you're able to take it early and kill it.
So that's our third common combination. Let's move on to another common one from the front court.
Yeah, this is a little bit more advanced, and it's where you've played a straight kill or push. Your opponent plays a straight drive back at you and you want to intercept it.
When you've played a good kill or push, you don't want to recover all the way back to the middle, because firstly, you don't have time, and secondly, the straight shot back down the tram line is the most likely reply. And you don't need to worry about the cross-court shot, because if you've played a good kill or push and you move to one side, it will be hard for your opponent to lift, so your partner should be high up the court next to you, ready to cover this area. So what is the footwork pattern for this common front court situation?
Well, it depends which side you're on. If you're on the forehand side, you again would move to the first shot as normal, like we mentioned in the previous combo. Then after you've played your kill or hard push, you want to push off your racket leg to bring it behind your non-racket leg like this. This is so that you can give yourself more time and space to get the hard shot back, and it helps you stay on balance too. Altogether, it looks like this.
Now if you're on the backhand side, after you've lunged with your racket leg, you then want to push off this leg, moving both legs round slightly so that your hips and upper body are facing forwards. You can then intercept the hard shot. And this is what the backhand side looks like altogether.
Remember, your recovery shouldn't always take you back to one fixed position. Where you recover depends on the shot you've played, the likely response, and the area your partner is covering. And once you implement these combinations, you'll remove unnecessary steps, reach the shuttle earlier, and move much more efficiently around the court.
Yeah, but one caveat. These will only work properly if you're confident with all of the individual movements first. And this is why inside our Footwork Accelerator, we break down every footwork movement step by step, before showing you how to link them together in realistic singles and doubles combinations like these.
You'll also learn how to practice everything with our flow method, so you can do them without even thinking about it. And you'll also learn how to improve your footwork from home. So if you're interested in that, then click the top link in the description below to find out more. And if you do get the Footwork Accelerator, you're also supporting our channel and enabling us to keep making these free videos here on YouTube.
So thank you in advance for your support. And lastly, don't forget to smash the subscribe button for more badminton insight, and we'll hopefully see you on another video very soon. Bye!